Killer podcast. KillerKellerOfficial.com.
This is the sound of the Killer Keller Beatbox Body Part Sample Pack. Over 120 loops, samples, and one-shots for your music production. Exclusively on Splice.
You like my decor?
Yeah, man, I was just checking it all. I'm checking it all out, man.
It's got a little bit of haberdashery, pub chic.
What did you do on the DMC World?
That was me, 1999, alongside the Scratch Perverts. I wasn't actually DJing, I was beatboxing with them.
Seen. So you got like that as a part of a team.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they won, so we got it.
That's dope, man. Well, they give one to like each person that's on the like.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Sick,
They had the Vestax one and I had the Newmark one. I think it was no Technics. They had the Technics and I had the Newmark. I had the mix and then they had the rest, you know.
No, Vestax, man. Newmark and Vestax.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, that's the one.
Dope, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, too long. So this is the Killer Keller podcast, and we are inside the ride with the Bob the Villain. I mean, I'm just going to give you the intro, but I'm going to let you run with it because to describe your sound, to describe your art conceptually, it's going to need to come from the horse's mouth. But essentially, what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen, is we're dealing with a multi-genre. Rap meets punk, meets trap, meets grime. It's aggressive. It's anti-establishment. It's your life story. It's Bob Vylan.
That summed it up, man.
Yeah?
It's not.
Hey, was I doing all right then?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's anti-everything. It's anti-most things.
It appears to me that you've got a bit of a
It's
beef.
skeptical.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
In the real sense of the word.
Yeah, it's skeptical. It's not. Yeah. That's probably actually a fuck, man. I never thought about that before.
There's an album title for you.
It's skeptical that's what it is, man. It's not necessarily anti. It's just skeptical.
Yeah. It all becomes questionable after a while, doesn't it?
Everything does.
I think as you get older, things start to get a little bit questionable, don't they?
I don't know. Yeah. I guess so, right? But like, for some people,
Yeah.
not everybody.
You mustn't lose your wisdom. Do you know what I mean? When you're going through life and you're doing the do, like you can't, just a little bit off record, you can't be completely like, well, this is all But when you've got a medium like music and you're creating it, it gives you the outlet not to let it affect you so hardly in your day-to-day life. Like when you're making the music, that's your outlet to outpour what you're...
Yeah. For the most part, yeah. I mean, people always say that though. Like,
You think it's played out?
I want to say, I think it is, because people say that. Come on. Like, it's like, and maybe, do you know what I mean? Like, maybe it is, but people say that like, oh, this is my way of expressing, but like, so your expression is just like,
I had to do it. I had to get it out. Like an Adele
but
record.
people ain't talking about and they're like, yo, but this is like the way I express myself. It's like, then you ain't really got many emotions then. because every song sounds the same. Like every song is talking about the same. Every song is about the same thing. So it's like, so you don't really.
You don't get
like,
it out much.
Yeah, so you like, so that's the only thing that runs through your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, yeah, but this is how I express myself. It's like, express a little more. Do you know what I mean? So like that is play. So I'm careful. I want to be careful.
Okay.
But for me, yeah. But every artist says it. Like it's my way of expressing myself. But it's like, yeah, of course.
When you get into it, what's the first thought? Like, again, you know, when I talk to people about Bob Vylan, I talk about the whole creative process, and that you start from inception with nothing, and you literally play every instrument, you do every verse, you do every, edit into writing to production to mix to mastering.
Yeah.
Where does it start?
It just starts, man. It just starts. Like it starts in any. It starts in in any place. Do you know what I mean? Like. A lot of artists say that they write to the beat. I don't necessarily always do that. So sometimes, like, I might write a whole verse. I might write a whole song. have the flows and everything of the words, everything, and then make a beat for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got the song written, the lyrics written, but I've got to make a beat because I ain't got nothing for it. Do you know what I mean? And so sometimes it starts from there. Sometimes it starts on the tube. Sometimes it starts in the shower. Sometimes it starts at 3 o'clock in the morning in bed. Do you know what I mean? Or 3 o'clock in the morning in a pub.
And you just have to get up and
Do
do
you know
it.
what I mean? And it's like yeah, it just starts anywhere. But then there is times where it's like, you know, and this is the majority of the time that I produce, or like I make something, pick up the guitar, start playing something, just with not necessarily any intention to make something. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like, just to play because I enjoy playing and trying to get better. Then I'm like, oh, that sounds all right, actually. Yeah, that's good. Let me quickly record this while, like, otherwise I'm going to forget it. And the way that I've set up everything at the moment is that so that I can do that. So it's quick. Because I've had it before, you know. I'm sure you had it before as well. So you got an idea, and then that idea, if you don't get that down in time, it's gone.
Yeah.
And for me personally, like, I like I mean, a lot of the things that you hear in my music, the music that you hear from me, rather, that's the way that it sounded when I first did it. So it's like there's not much going back and being like, oh, maybe change this or maybe change that. There's maybe a little bit of that, but it's like I need that first thing. So if the first thing I say, that's usually what is recorded. The first thing that I write or think of, that's the first thing that's recorded. Sometimes it's just different approaches, man.
Because one thing that I've noticed with your we'll call it the campaign for now, you know, like there's certainly a DIY approach to that, which is so endearing. But there's this whole church thing, the Church of Vylan, and you're putting out every Sunday a track.
Yeah.
Now,
it's something. So it's something.
it's going to be
Yeah, it's something every Sunday.
It's that cookie cutter. Right, I've got 7 days to do this. That's a very South Park way of doing it. All of a sudden, you're like, you're doing this in real time.
Yeah,
it's like an episode of 24.
Yeah.
So what do you just like?
But I mean, it's not obviously with something like South Park, like that's like because they're speaking on current events. So like whatever's in the news that week is like what you see on when that comes out. Then it's right. That week. But I don't really do that. I try not to speak directly on a current affair. Like I wouldn't make a song about like saying Trump is a president. Do you know what I mean? Because in 4 years when he's not the president anymore, it's irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? And like that's me being presumptuous about like my music is still gonna have relevance in 4 years.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't want to do that. So it's like it's not as hard as that because I'm not talking about something current, like what happened in that week in the news, and then okay, now you're getting it. But yeah, I'm making something from scratch. In 7 days. It's you're listening to it in 7 days. Yeah.
Liberating.
Yeah, because most artists I think probably make a lot of music in like in one way or another. They're creating a lot, right? You should be. I feel like you should be. You should be creating all the time.
To repeat a process and just be creative.
You should just be making. Even if it don't get heard. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I'll make a song, 2 songs, 3 songs, whatever. And maybe I sit with them for a while. And then it's like, then when you make the next song, that other song, the other song that you made, now don't sound so good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As time goes on, because you should be getting better and better at your craft.
And it's law of average. If you were knocking out like 5 to 10 songs in a go, then in theory, one of them 10's going to be golden.
Yeah. But so for me, it is liberating and that's why I started doing it. I didn't start doing it so I could do you know what I mean? So I could just force music out on you every week. It's like, I've done it because I'm the rate that I make music, the rate that I'm making music is quick. And I started noticing, oh, well, I'm making this song today. Then next month, when I've got another 8, 9, 10, however many songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That song don't sound. It doesn't hold the. It now becomes old.
Yeah.
Because I'm
that's
like,
fair.
that shit's old, but it's only a month old to me. I'll put it out and people like it.
Yeah.
Because they don't know, they don't like, oh, that was made a month ago. Do you know what I mean? And now he's got this. So I was like,
They
I
don't
had,
see it like that. Yeah, I get you.
so I had
Yeah.
to just put a song out every week because I'm creating so much and I'm happy with what I'm making.
Yeah.
And then when I make another song, I'm like, every time I make a new song, I feel like they're getting better and better and better. And they're getting more and more different and more experimental. And I'm becoming happier with them.
Yeah.
So I had to just do it because I was like, I want it out there. Give it there. Now it's out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Now it's out. Boom.
And it's a privilege to be able to get from naught to, I don't know, the finishing line of coming up with an idea and then mastering it yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Because
there's a sound to what this is. Again, you know, to those that have not checked out Bob Vylan, and I suggest you do.
go and do it.
There is absolutely there is a texture and a feel to what's going on within the songs, and a lot of that is because again, not to overhype it, because I know there's loads of people that do it out there, but not with the genre bouncing that is going on. He does it all himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And yeah. All right. So
Here comes the creeper.
because the heady get a hold of me. So I want to like.
All right,
But
I'll be there to back you up.
yeah, like you say, like a lot of people do it, but I don't think a lot of people do it to the extent that I'm doing it. But I don't shout that from the mountains, right? Because you come across like the wild kid, like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, like, oh, just because you're doing that, like,
I get you.
Yeah. So, but fact is fact. Do you know what I
You
mean?
can't
Like,
take away from
fact
it.
is fact. Like, I start off with nothing. There's a blank page.
Yeah.
And then in 7 days, there's a song that people fuck with.
Yeah, yeah.
People are listening to it and they dig it. Do you know what I mean? And some people are making music, but it's one thing to just make a beat in 3 or 4 days. It's another thing to just write lyrics to a beat in 3 or 4 days. It's one thing to mix a song in 3 or 4 days or master a song in 3 or 4 days. But it's another thing to pick up the guitar, create
Not your
something,
instrument.
right? Like something that I've learned, you know, like I'm not vetted in it. I haven't been playing it since I was a kid or something. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, pick up a guitar, get that down.
Yeah.
Get some drums over it, get some bass over it, add some maybe 808 or synth or lead or whatever. Play the keys or whatever it is. Play something, which again, I'm very not versed in it. See? Then write to it. Then fine tune, mix and master it all in 3 or 4 days.
Mad.
And then because that's what usually happens. I'll make it in, you know, sometimes it's like 2 days that a song is made, and then I'll spend the other 4 days listening to it, just listening to it over and over and over again. It just is on repeat, just over and over.
Critiquing it or just refining it in your head?
Getting
Or
sick of it,
used to
just trying to get sick of it.
Just so that it's out.
just get sick of it, and to the point where I'm like, okay, 7th day, let me just Sunday service.
Yeah,
There you go.
done. What about, now we come on to the technicality of it. Okay, you're going to put this thing out on SoundCloud, you're going to put it out on, I don't know, CD Baby or TuneCore, or whatever. I mean, I'm not going to throw so many names. You know who they are. And they've got to get on Spotify at a certain time, or they've got to get on on these streaming platforms. Well, does that include that with the Sunday services?
because I put it, because with the Sunday service, I just put it on SoundCloud.
Okay.
So the projects are out on Spotify.
Right.
And they're on SoundCloud, Spotify, Tidal, Apple.
Inspiring shit, man. It's awesome.
Everything.
Yeah.
But then the Sunday service stuff
it.
is just, it's on SoundCloud. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise I would have to wait to put it on all the platforms, and it's like, take a week or 5
and
days.
You want your EPs and your albums and your singles to be reflectant on, you know, the exposure you get, celebrated.
And that's the thing as
You know
well,
what I mean?
you know, like these Sunday service songs ain't like they're being made, but I ain't including all the other songs that I hold back for a project.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I've heard them ones.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like that's songs that I'm holding. So there's songs that I'm holding back for a project. Like these will have a cohesive sound.
What's the feeling when you press that button on save on a public post on SoundCloud, knowing that on the 7th day, after all that tribulations and creative,
Cool, man.
How's it feel?
Cool. It's cool. It's like it is liberating. Yeah. Like at first, I thought, it's gonna be maybe stress because like really. I done it because I want to get these songs out because I make a lot of music, so I just want it out. But and then I also done it as like a personal test to myself. Like I wonder if I could do it because I'm making all this. I'm making it and definitely making a song a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, so why can't I then just put out one every week? So then it's like, so I wanted to do it as a test to myself as well.
It's amazing.
So it's like putting it up there. It's cool, man, and people, people fuck with it. It's not like.
But it's actually.
It's not like It's not like there's a small audience that is checking it. Do you know what I mean? There's a small audience that checks it out. If I post it on Saturday, they'll check it out. To me, that's amazing, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not hundreds of thousands of people. It's not even tens of thousands of people, but. People are listening to it, and like, I was just making this music.
Set of ears at a time.
Exactly, man. And I was just making this music for myself. So to then just have one person listen to it and be like, "Yo,
I'm feeling that." I'll see you at so and so date. I'll be there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like to have one person be like, "Yo, I fuck with this. I gotta catch you live," or "Yo, when you come to America," or when are you in France? And it's like.
You're connecting.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, but like we'll work it out.
So let's backtrack a bit. Divert a little bit into your influences and how these things came to part. Your beginnings. We'll just breeze over this. Your beginnings were very much grime related. Early doors grime. We're talking streets. We're talking Wiley. Correct? I mean, I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah. Like Wiley. Obviously, that's the Godfather. Greatest MC ever. Mm-hmm. Greatest.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
And it's not the Henny talking.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there, man.
I love Wiley.
Like greatest, man.
He don't need me to tell him.
The greatest.
Yeah.
Hands down. Anybody. Kill anybody.
But you were from out of town. You ain't from London. You aren't entirely from London.
Yeah. So I'm from So Ipswich, Switch side, gang.
You got Switch.
Yeah, so I'm from Ipswich, side, and but spent a lot of time in London, growing up between the two. Yeah, so
how does that differ from what you would say would be like a musical upbringing in London?
Well, it differs. Yeah, okay. So it differs like because if you grew up in London, maybe. You grow up in your like a lot of people like it don't matter where you grow up, but it's like you grow up in your area.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you grow up in your hood, like your block, your front line, whatever it is. Like you have your thing, like where you are.
Yeah.
Like you got people in South London don't never leave South London.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people in North London that they never heard people. Of like they don't know where Stepney is or what. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
never mind where Ipswich
is. I mean?
Exactly,
Exactly. And then you got people in Ipswich. It's like they couldn't get to. They wouldn't be able to find their way from Stratford to fucking Mile End.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And it like so it's like no matter where you are, some people just stay where they are. Do you know what I mean? They just know their strip and they don't go anywhere else. For me, because I had that early, just from going from Ipswich to London, I was exploring both. Do you know what I mean? Ipswich is not a huge place, but I was seeing the different areas. You know what I mean? Like
places you were inspired by the music. Like you were in London and seeing that.
Yeah. So being in London, and then like when I'm in London, I'm in East London, and this is like I'm becoming aware of what is happening in East London in the early 2000s and seeing grime music and like listening to like radio sets and stuff like that and then hearing, oh, Wiley said 38 bus, and then there's the 38 bus. Do you get me?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like that means then he's from these ends.
That's
Do you know
right,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And because I don't know what a lot of these people look like.
Apart from the DVD packs.
Yeah, but that even that come like a little bit later. Do you know what I mean? Like I knew what a handful of MCs looked like because MTV Base was playing some video. So like Champagne Dance, boom. MTV Base were playing that video for a piece. So I knew what Wiley looked like. Knew what a couple of MCs, but they would like a majority of them on there were like garage. So, I mean, it's a kind of a garage that's in that middle passage of like, crossing over sort of thing. So it's like
the grey area.
Yeah, exactly. The grey area. So seeing like that influenced me heavy because it was like just well, this isn't like a new thing. I think it influenced everybody that was into music.
And I'm gonna put it out there. It was punk. It had a punk aesthetic to it. No matter how you look at it.
Yeah, because it's like,
DIY.
well, we're just gonna do what the fuck we want. Do you know what I mean? Like we're gonna, and I think I saw Wiley talking about that in a recent interview. It's like it is kind of like punk. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're just gonna do what we want to do. We don't care if you say that. Oh, this is not real music, and it doesn't have the musicality to it. It's like garage or house does. Where are the chords? Do you know what I mean? Where's the fifth chord? And like, no, we don't care.
Well,
it's just
fucking
like
chords.
It's like plink plonk. Do you know what I mean? And dun, dun, dun. And then this is our music.
Endearing, man.
So it's like fuck it. So I took influence from that a lot, and that can be heard in the music because in Wake Up, for example, off the Vylan EP, you can hear there's Esky samples. There's Esky snares in there. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like Esky beat is probably that's when it comes to like grime music, that's where I gravitated towards, like Esky beat.
You can hear it.
Like I like the cold sound of it. Do you know what I mean? And like the snares, like the drum sounds and snares especially, man. Like the clanks and the
coldness of it's like and this is where it gets a bit to define it, because there is a real sense of apathy. It's like a real. It's the chords you use, the chords that you choose to use.
But
it's
the thing,
sounds.
I don't know what chords they are.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But Ozzy Osbourne don't know what he's singing half the time. But that's the charm.
Yeah, but like I don't like when I tell you like I don't know what chords I'm playing. Like I don't know what chords I'm playing. Like any song like on guitar. Like I mean I know my open chords. Cool. I know like my bar chords, but like when it gets in obscure play, like I have to sit and be like, okay, that's it. I don't know, like I couldn't be like, okay, cool, I'm playing this. Like I'm playing like this is it's in this key, and these are the four chords that like, I don't know that shit. I don't know that. Like I'm self-taught on that.
It's
Again,
awesome,
like
man.
it's a DIY.
That's
like I'm self-taught.
inspiring,
Like my
man.
brethren, Bone, Colt, Gang, like he introduced me to that. To the guitar, love him for it. Do you know what I mean? Because that changed my life, and I give him props, hail him up every time. Do you know what I mean? Because like that truly changed my life. Like so, but I couldn't replay any of them, any song that I've ever made. I couldn't replay it. I'd have to sit there and learn.
Does that matter?
No, because I don't play guitar on stage.
Yeah. I was going to say it's maybe not your first skill set, but I think there's something to be said about.
I'm keen on getting better at it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been playing for a couple years now. I'm confident in it, but it just is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like I come from a producer's background. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I've been making beats of like the plinky plonk, like trying to figure this shit out. Do you know what I mean? Like, and by ear, well, that sounds pleasing to the ear. When I press that note after that, it don't sound pleasing. So it's like I come from that. So it's like I just see that as another tool. Like I see the guitar for me personally in the studio situation. If I'm playing it live, if I was to play it live, it'd be a different situation. But in the studio, it's just another tool.
I get you.
It's just another tool. It may as well be a VST.
Yeah.
Because it's just there, and it's like I don't need to know the ins and outs. It's just like if it sounds good, then it sounds good. Then that's it, you know.
And as things have developed in the merging of genres, you know, I guess it's really easy to categorize things in hindsight because nowadays everything is mixed and blended and chopped up. But without question, there's a heavy influence of punk in with what you do.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At what point did
like we play on more punk bills than we do on rap or grime bills.
It's aggressive.
You know? Like, yeah. But I think that's...
With 808s?
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah...
Like, what was your influences
the people are going to categorize it however they want.
What was your influences there, though? Like, what?
Well, like, talking about, like...
Yeah.
Punk, that sort of... So it's like... I mean, Bad Brains is an obvious one. And I hate to even say it, but obviously, like, because it's like, it seems so obvious. But it's because, he's got the dreads and he does it. So, but it's truth. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, they're one of the best, they're one of the best punk bands ever in the world. I don't think you would really find anyone that would disagree.
No. They were the first, I mean, them and Iggy Pop.
They're playing at speeds that I had never, you know what I mean? It's like, it's super fast. And then, bands like the Dead Kennedys.
Nice.
Crass.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
Dude.
man, of course.
Dude.
You know what I mean? The Clash, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say there's definitely a vocal influence in there, in my opinion. You know.
And then just other guitar-based music. Do you know what I mean? Like, of course, like Marilyn Manson. I fuck with 9 Inch Nails. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not 9 Inch Nails fan, me.
Nah.
I don't get it. I get why.
It's like to me.
man.
To me, it's not the American Prodigy who I fuck with heavily as well. Gang, Prodigy. Like, like. I mean, like, because some people in like they'll slaughter me if I say. It's like the American Prodigy.
I'll highlight the comment sections. All right.
But like, but it kind of like,
No.
but that thing of like just kind of industrial sounding.
I get you.
Live elements.
Yeah, I can't.
Do you know what I mean?
Fuck with it. I don't know why I can't.
But yeah, no, I fuck with it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really anything that is like.
You twist it up.
But my influences are probably all similar to other punk bands, and similar to other rap or grime artists.
Yeah, because people.
Because I just take influence because it's the influence from everything.
Yeah, and I see people hit you up on the gram. I see people hit you up on social media. Like, I see kids get into you that I know, like, they're being to Lil Pump or Zillakami or Tekashi 6ix9ine, like more heavier SoundCloud rap-driven stuff, right? But then you'll get the old school punkers in it. Like, and then there's you that's rocking a Moschino, but then when you're on stage, you're aggressive, you're stage diving, like there's a...
But that's the thing, like,
guitars and drums going crazy.
Like, but I don't... Because sometimes I think sometimes like certain subcultures are separate from each other because for whatever reason, do you know what I mean? But like the person that listens to maybe like a Tekashi 6ix9ine or Zillakami or like a Lil Pump or like those sort of artists, right? Like even like a Uzi Vert or someone like that, right? Like they're not necessarily...
Great album, by the way.
Like they're not necessarily... Even someone like Suicide Boys, they're not like their listeners are not necessarily at punk fucking shows. Do you know what I mean?
But they have the same energy.
But they have the same energy, right? Yeah. Exactly. But so they're not necessarily they're not seeing punk shows and then they definitely. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's a younger generation, no disrespect to them, but it's like, they definitely ain't been to no garage raves. And
this
grime
is the world
raves.
we're in now,
And so it's like, and so, I'm there, I'm rocking Moschino. So like, a lot of the time, I'm like Moschino, because I just got a collection. Because, I love garage music. I love that fashion.
But you're banging to your fashion too.
Yeah, I love that.
You've got the whole vintage.
Like I love Moschino. Like it's like that's my shit. Do you know what I mean? Like I got a whole set. I got rare prints. Like I'm into that shit. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, just because I'm into that doesn't necessarily mean that I need to make garage music. Do you know what I mean?
Or have a quick costume change to get into my punk gear.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that,
So
I
it's
feel
like,
that.
I just wear whatever the fuck I wear, and then I'll get on stage and do, and you get the same thing. Do you know what I mean? So I think like my influence comes from a lot of different things, because I was lucky enough to grow up in a time where things were just constantly shifting. Like I saw garage turn to grime. I saw fucking rap go from like $1 million budgets.
Jiggy,
Like
yeah.
people fucking getting $1 million, like the videos looking glitz and glamour to the videos being like in the hood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I saw that. I saw the internet. I saw YouTube just become like a thing where like people can just get famous off of it.
Yeah,
I saw SoundCloud reborn. Do you get me? Like it's like I'm lucky enough to see all of those things, and the music, and lucky enough to see the music all just shift and bend and just become this and go in. So it's like I got influences from when I was 13 years old, 12 years old, and I got influences from 2 weeks ago. And do you know what I mean? When like, oh, that new like 15, 16-year-old rapper is out, and like that's his first song on SoundCloud, and I just come across it. I'm like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like this is banging. So it's like, it's cool, man. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like
We're really lucky, aren't we?
that's the
melting.
that's why with the Church of Vylan, it's like it's an all-inclusive thing. It's like
Follow me.
not follow yourself, but like let's all be here. Like let's experience this. Like let's experience things together. Do you know what I mean? But be who you want to be. Do what you want to do, and like no one here in this space is gonna judge you for it, and no one here in this space is gonna like ostracize it for it.
That's right.
It's like be who you want to be, do what you want to do. It doesn't matter about your fucking gender, sexuality, race, religion, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like do what you want to do. We're here for the simple fact that we like music. Maybe we feel angry about certain things. We feel anti or skeptical about certain things. So that's what the Church of Vylan is all about. Do you know what I mean? It's like not necessarily a religious thing. It's just
It's a gathering.
Yeah, exactly. It's a gathering. Do you know what I mean? It's a gathering, and the whole Sunday service,
Interactive.
Sunday service is again. It's like I do it for the reason that I do it for, but it's also like people go to church on Sunday. Do you know what I mean? People hit the mosque on Friday. People hit the fucking, like on Saturday they go into the fucking temple. Do you know what I mean? So it's like everyone's got their thing. So it's like on Sunday we can, like, I'll put that song up, and there's a handful of people that every Sunday they come and listen to it.
Yeah.
That ain't no different from every Sunday they watch Songs of Praise on BBC One.
Oh, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
I get it. I get you.
So it's like, to me, that is just
Own
like
it.
that's what it's about, man. It's like I don't give a fuck if you wear braces and Fred Perry's, and I don't give a fuck if you wear TN tracksuits.
Pink
Do you know what I mean?
pink dreads.
I don't give a fuck if you got pink dreads. I don't give a fuck if you like. You know what I mean?
And on the same note, I've been privy to like seeing him live a bunch of times. Okay, so like, just have your raincoats ready. Get ready for the stage dive. The wall of sound, like this guy is like relentless.
Don't wear white because you're liable to get blood on
you're
it.
allowed to get. Yeah, you're gonna
Bloodstains
get
don't
hit.
come out,
Yeah,
man.
you're gonna get
Someone's
hit.
getting it. Someone. Again, man, it's like that's the cool thing, because the shows bring people of all, because a lot of people experience experience music in general in their house, by themselves, solitary, right? But when it comes to live shows, then you get to see your audience, like who listens to you in their bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Who are the people that are listening on SoundCloud of you, right? And so at the shows, there's a mix of people, because it's like, well, that group of people fuck with it, and then that group of people fuck with it.
Dude,
and
I've seen the
and they're
comments.
side by side.
Yeah, it's mad.
And so it's like, well, this is dope, because it's like, because instead of doing a show all to that one type of people or all that, they're stood there side by side, because for some reason, both sets or all 3/4 or whatever types of people fuck with the music.
And I think the music suggests that. It suggests mix. It suggests like go crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like I mean,
It just comes with the.
just I don't know, man. I don't know because like to reflect on it and look back and to dissect it is you know, like hindsight is 20/20. But when I'm creating it, I'm just making it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and some people are gonna fuck with it, and some people are not. And I'm lucky for the ones that do, and for the ones that don't,
Yeah.
then that's cool as well. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
people,
Yeah,
as a whole,
they're digging.
people dig it.
And
man.
the thing is like the journey that you're about to go on with this is it feels relentless. It's like, here, have this. Here, next tune, have this.
Yeah, that's another thing.
It's
you know,
amazing. It's amazing.
The like the attention span of everybody. You know what I mean? Like everybody. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's short, man. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people are not trying to listen to 20 songs on an album anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like
They want one hit, like in your
yeah,
face.
like, give me
and then
like
gone.
what's the best song? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's the best song? Where's your best song?
I wouldn't know.
So it's like
I wouldn't know. It's
people-
like you play a thing in different ways, don't you? You know?
yeah, exactly. So I like if I'm making a project, then I'm compiling it how like the track order is the order that I think it should be in. You might think, oh well, that's the better track. Why didn't he put that first? Well, I don't. You know what I mean? But it's like people's attention span is short nowadays, of course. So like I put out a song every week because I ain't gonna put out a song and then let that stew for a month and try and drive people to that one song
It'll
every
grow
month.
on
It's
its
like-
own. It'll
it's
grow on
like,
its own.
Just
Yeah.
listen to that song. All right, cool. Now that song's old now because it's old to me. Like I'm saying, do you know what I mean? Like I'm making the song. The next week, that song is old to me. My attention span is shorter.
Yeah.
So like
I've already burnt myself out. On
so
this
it's
one.
like so exactly. So like I've listened to that a million times. All right, cool. And then so for other people, they're listening to it. They're like it's old to them after a week. So here's another one.
Okay, I'm gonna switch lanes. What are you into? What influences you outside of music? What do you dig outside? It's a tough one.
Tons of shit.
Right. Break it down. What grates your gears, makes you happy? What makes you sad? What are the things that trigger some of your best inspired moments in music? What
All right. Well, the most
hobbies like that?
Like, well, just obviously I play guitar. Like I love playing guitar. Like, just trying to get better and better at that. And just making music in general. I know it's like outside of music, but it's like I love doing that. Do you know what I mean? I don't play sports or none of that.
Yeah.
Like everything I do is really centered around music.
I don't know many musicians that play too many sports. To be fair,
It's one or the other, right? It
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
seems to be one or the other. But like, yeah, I mean, like, the death of my brethren, Jay, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Jay. Again.
He kind of like that. That's really like he's like a driving force of like always championing me. Do you know what I mean? Of like, yeah, you should you need to get this stuff out. You need to get stuff out. You need to do this, you know what I mean? And we done some stuff before, you know, where he was like we were working together, and in like various forms. And then, it was like a different start. It was completely different. It was like me rapping. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I wasn't even producing the beats. I had a friend who was producing everything, really. I was just recording over it. Blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, I just kind of got sick of that. Took a break. And then I started working on this stuff. And we were supposed to be...
When he passed?
Yeah, I was working on this stuff beforehand. So I was working on this stuff. I was living elsewhere. I wasn't living in England. And then like the plan was like, because there was a space between the stuff that we were working on before and the stuff that is now, that you hear now.
Right.
It was like a fucking 6-year gap. Do you know what I mean? 6-7 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's like there's some time, right? It's like I hadn't done anything, right? Really. Do you know what I mean? I done some little bits. I ain't done nothing. So I'm just growing and thing, and then, you know, I'm working on all of this stuff, and then I got like, and I'm making it for myself, But he keeps hitting me up like, yo, you should put something out, and I got this and I got that, and we can do this and that. So I'm like, all right, yeah, we'll see. Like,
yeah.
Let's see.
He's itching.
Like, yeah, he's itching,
Yeah.
but I'm like, well, let's see when I get back from here. I mean, I get back to England and and then he just passed. Do you know what I mean? Unexpectedly. So it's like, so then I came back, and now I've been back since. Do you know what I mean? And so
And crazily, that's how we met.
Yeah, it is.
The kind of week or two when you landed.
Yeah,
right?
when I came back, and like, you know, one of the first times I actually left the house, because I was like heavy, just
doing business.
medicating,
Yeah, all that sort of thing. Yeah,
self-medicating. So like, when the first time I left the house, we met, and so that really is like, that's my main inspiration.
Mm-mm.
That's my main inspiration. Outside of just wanting to make music, that is my main inspiration. That's the reason why I decided to put stuff out. That's the reason why, you know what I mean, I do it every Sunday. Just boom, put it out. And besides
awesome,
that, I mean,
it's awesome.
It's all shit, just all sorts of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Just like, I like watching films and shit. Like, get inspiration from films. Big movie head, and listen to other people's music and just chilling out, get in the pub, go and have a drink with friends, whatever. Just talk about shit, whatever, man. Like just anybody, just anybody. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no different. But
people person.
Nah, not really. I don't know, maybe, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't really like to. Like, I just want to know your story.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's a there's like a handful of people that, like, of course, like, in contact, like me, we're in contact all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
no, we're brethren.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're in contact all the time.
Yeah.
Right? We talk to each other all the time. There's some people that are like that. I talk to them all the time. And then there's some people like, I was like, let me know who you are.
Yeah.
And then
I get you.
And then that's it. Do
I
you know what I
get
mean?
you.
Like, I just want to know who you are in
Yeah.
that space, in that time. And then that's it. Not necessarily grow with somebody. Do you know what I mean?
That's city life, though, isn't it?
It kind of is. Yeah. It kind of is, man. It kind of is, because everybody's just moving.
Yeah, they are.
Like, you know, for every 10 people or 100 people, maybe even fucking that you meet, you have one person that you meet along that road that is like that you keep with you, and you grow together.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? And another 100 people when you meet another person.
It's just keeping the circle tight and making sure that the people that you do meet, you give them. I see where you're coming from. You've got.
And I never take any meeting for granted. Do you know what I mean? Like, I never take any. Like, I try not to take anything for granted, because you don't know the influence that you might have on somebody, or the influence that they might have on you. Do you know what I mean? So,
and
like,
you just never know what, in the crazy world of spinning plates, when you just might like meet up with somebody that you might have influenced before, and it just might change your life for this new moment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
crazy.
it's like, so you just never
that
know.
still
Man.
impresses me even now. I'm like, man, I'm so glad I was fucking chill back then, because if I was not, it would be a whole different game.
There you go as well.
It's just crazy.
As well. It's
Yeah.
like being, like, remaining kind of like a.
You have to,
chill,
right?
Just like a humble. Just like, yeah, but that's it, man. Because you never know what other people are going through. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody got that. So it's like, I find a lot of my inspiration through that, through just like not necessarily being a people person, because I feel like that implies that you go and
Philanthropist.
yeah, like you're like everybody loves you and you love everybody, but it's like in the sense that getting to know. What do you and you came from? I mean, like that, like yeah. I dig that, man.
How's your day? Kind of conversations.
Yeah. How's your day? But and then like 5 minutes into the conversation, I'm like, kind of like, so what really makes you tick? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And like, what do you regret in life? Like that sort of thing. Like
it's a life journey.
Get the small talk out of the way, and then I want to know. All right, cool. So like, let me know who you are. Do you know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah. So
That's
that I
the
find a lot of
beauty of
influence
life,
in that, man. Like that, and then religion, like or just organized institutions. I find a lot of
but
like
that's a whole different
inspiration of.
That's
like,
a whole
in
different
things
subject.
Like that, man.
There's one thing as a human being, as a gent, I decided early doors not to talk about 3 things. Don't talk about your sex life, don't talk about religion, don't talk about business. And you'll be set for life in any conversation. That's my philosophy on the whole
I don't know,
religion
like,
thing.
because, you know, with the Church of Vylan stuff, obviously, I mean, there's a like the church. Do you know what I mean? There's a religious kind of undertone to certain things in the music.
Yeah, but I get
And
it.
I think
though.
a lot of people kind of see it, but some people see it, I think, as demonic.
That's never hurt any band. Sure.
Nah, but it's like it's kind.
You've
But
got
as
to
well,
have
it's
a-
kind of played out though, and like I don't do it. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to
I
be
get ya.
to come across it. Like
No,
I don't
but
do it to
think
be
it
like
does. I don't think it does. But if there,
666.
but there's always going to be some. There's always going to be somebody.
Because that is played out, man. Like come on,
Yeah,
like
it's
you know what I
bait.
mean, to be like it's because it's like it doesn't even mean nothing.
No.
Like people don't
It's
even know
really
why it's
played
like
out.
666,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so done.
Do you know what I mean? I'm so fucking anti, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's so fucking
Pass me the weed, man.
Yeah, it's
My
like,
drug of
it's like
choice in
a
this
played out.
genre.
It's like a played out thing.
Yeah.
So like, but I think a lot of people see it as like, oh, this dude is like, he's fucking like he's worshiping the devil. Like, but it's not the case. But like, I just find
You're challenging the devil, and I don't think that's the case.
invoking,
Maybe
man,
yeah,
like
yeah.
invoking, like I don't know. I want to say something that makes you think like, oh, fuck, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
just like give it, like throw it at them, and if they react, I mean, what was it Nas said once on about Illmatic? He was like, "Hey, any album?" Someone interviewed him saying, "How do you feel about no other people dissing every album you've done since Illmatic?"
Right.
And he goes, "I don't care as long as they're talking about me. If they're not talking about me, then I've got a problem." You know,
Yeah.
and that really resonates. It's like what you're saying essentially is, you're framing it in a certain way. Make what you want of it,
yeah.
right?
And that's it. It's like, so I just say I say what comes to mind. Do you know what I mean? Like from my background, I've got every religion under the sun.
Ain't we all?
Every religion under the sun.
Ain't we all?
At one point or another, I've been either part of or influenced by. Do you know what I mean? Like almost anything you can think of. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
I think that's
like
suggestive.
that's just growing. Like that's growing up. Like that's like that's growing up, being open to things. Do you know what I mean? And but also being skeptical about things at the same time. So, because someone's always trying to sell you something. Do you know what
Always.
I mean? Someone's always trying to sell you something.
There's always a clever fucker.
Yeah, it's always trying to sell you a fucking hope
good
or a
con
dream
men.
or something. Do you know what I mean?
Musicians have got to be good con men. That's what it is. The best musicians are con men. I swear to God.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I try to be as honest as possible through the music. You know? I try to be
through the music.
Try to be as honest
But
as
everywhere
possible.
else, we've just got to. I don't know, man.
But everywhere else, I mean, I don't know, man. Nah,
I'm not saying you're a
pretty
con
good
man.
guy.
But what I mean is
I'm
in this day and
honest,
age,
I'm honest.
these are the winners, right? You know.
Once upon a time, baby, I'd have cheated you out of your shoes.
Not the pumps, man. Never
I
the
would have had
pumps.
you walking on barefoot and have you thinking it was a good idea.
Until I step into a puddle. Sort of shit. There you go.
You would have stepped in
There
the
you
puddle
go.
and thanked me for it,
Yeah.
man.
Damn, I didn't realise how wet this could be. Thanks, Bob Phil.
Once upon a time, man.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a life once lived, man.
It takes a lot to be sincere with your music, and a lot to put it out there. And by the way that you're cookie cutting and getting it out there is like literally as hot as it's out the oven, it speaks volumes. And especially how doing it from start to finish in such a way that it sounds cohesive each time.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. I kind of find that though, like the tracks that I make in a period of in a certain time period, they kind of all flow together.
They do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes it's problematic, like as I mentioned before, it's like sometimes I'm playing something and I'm like, this sounds like I'm thinking, yeah, this is the shit. Write something to it, boom, boom, boom. Fucking get maybe as far as like mixing it down, and then I'm like, oh shit, man, I just written like wake up again.
Yeah.
You know,
Same
like,
what I did.
It's like it's like so this is just like the
see
same
how
chords as
punk
claps
guys-
in the dough, man.
This is the problem. How punk bands, you know.
And that's the thing with like if you're gonna just limit yourself to like 3 chords, so that's why I'm like I try and well, how can I change it up here and change it up there? So like some songs you hear, they would start off very punk and then they or start off very rap and then all of a sudden go into like heavy punk or start off very like punk or like live, you know what I mean? And then go into like, okay, the 808s come in here, and then like there's no guitars and there's no live drums. It's just all, it sounds rap, sounds very rap or whatever, grime, whatever. So, because I don't want to make the same song over and over again. And sometimes that happens, do you know what I mean? Especially because I'm making so much. So it's like, if I make one song today, finish that, boom, boom. Next week, I might make that same song again. Or 2 weeks later, I might make the same song again. So it's like, just try and be careful of like, it sound.
But with restriction comes the creativity. I mean, 3 chords or just doing it with your mouth, beatboxing with your mouth. I mean, there is a parameter that you have to work by. But at the same time, if you can forge like if you could harness every time the creative energy. I don't ever get bored with some bands that stick to a formula, because it always seems to drag you back in.
It depends, innit? Because like some bands or some artists even, it's like it does what it says on the tin. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know what you're gonna get.
Like Prodigy.
Yeah, but then with Prodigy as well, the big homies, gang. Like that is like, they still change it up though.
They do switch it up.
Do you know what I mean? They
I agree.
You know what you're gonna get in a sense, but it's like, but it's just different different every time. And that's certain artists is like, it's really just like, I want to turn up, or I want my fucking introspective. So
right,
like,
I gotcha.
So like what? So it's like, I know that artist is always gonna give me that.
Yeah.
Because they're nothing other than that.
It's got to be that. Like Pharrell, NERD. Actually, no, let's narrow that down. Neptunes. When you hear a Neptunes beat.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. So like, but that's the thing though, because like, that's money driven almost. You if you pay for a Neptunes beat, then you want that shit to sound like a Neptunes beat. Like, I want it to sound like the one you just done for. Do you know what I mean? Like, I imagine
still sounds
that.
right. That's what's crazy. It always
So it's like
used to freak me out. I'm like,
but
every time was different. But
some
same.
artists are not. Some artists, like, you know, they have every time they come out, it's a different sound, or every song is different. For me personally, I want it to be so like every project is different. And
gotcha.
then like, you know, and another helpful thing with the church, the Sunday service stuff is that between projects you get these songs, right? And then you get that project and you listen to that for a week, and then after that it's done, man. It's just like boom, another Sunday service track. But it's like the projects have a cohesive sound. The songs are just the songs. Some of them flow into each other, whatever, because you know they're made back to back or whatever, but the projects are not the project that you heard then is not going to sound like the project now. It's going to have pieces of it. They have pieces, but it's not. It's like, what's the point in giving you the same thing over and over again? Because you're going to get tired of it. And me as a musician, someone that's still learning their instrument, or like, I'm not like getting better with it because I've learned it.
Yeah,
but I'm somebody that's getting better.
Let me just say, like, as a vocalist, as a lyricist, as an MC, and a performer, like, you know your set skill. You know what your first command is. You know exactly what. But I get what you're saying.
And even as a guitarist, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've learned it, but I'm getting better at it. So it's like, I can play guitar. If you say, can you play Wonderwall? Okay, you'll fucking play. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I play Busker's classics. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, hey man, play Wonderwall.
Isn't it? School lesson volume 1.
But like, but I'm getting, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting better at that. So it's like, then each project should be different. Exactly. Each project should be like, okay, cool. Or like, this sounds different to that. If you want to listen to that sort of thing, then listen to that project. If you want something new, then listen to this, and then next. Get on going, you know?
Well, there's only one thing for it then. You need to go and check out Bob Vylan. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Killer Keller. This here is Bob Vylan. This is the Killer Keller podcast. You stay lucky. Look after yourselves and each other.
Peace, love.
Peace.